Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today's July 29th, 2021. This is episode 377. Swamp God is the book we're looking at today. This is a heavy metal publication coming out from their Elements segment. You might recall we did Chasing the Dragon. That came out from their Magma segment. I don't know exactly how many segments they have. This is number one. I'm not sure. Actually, it's chapter one. I'm not sure how many issues are going to be. This is a recommend with a caveat, and the caveat is this: the story given here is only 14 pages long, and it comes in a whopping $2.99. So at least we're not getting gouged on the price. There are some artwork sketches in there, I think 6 pages worth, and then just a bunch of upcoming features coming from heavy metal. So it's almost kind of like a catalog with a expanded preview in it. So a little disappointed that the show was over so quickly on this because the story was pretty good. Okay, on the cover here we have the Swamp Witch, not the Swamp God, the Swamp Witch. This picture is actually in there, except it's expanded out. And with that, let's take a look to see who worked on it. Ron Mars is the writer. Artist is Paolo Armatano. If I said that right or wrong, I apologize. Colors are DC Alonso. Letters ALW Studios Troy Peteri. The editor is Tim Seeley. Co-editor is Joseph Illich. All right, and we can get a little blurb on the back here. They give you the setup for the story. Set during the Civil War, Swamp God pits a raiding party of black Union soldiers against a contingent of Confederate troops in the Louisiana Bayou. When the Confederates suffer losses in a pitched battle, they seek out a legendary seductive swamp witch to summon up a demon from the depths to exact revenge. But when the monster runs amok, the enemies must set aside their hatred and fight together if they are to survive. Okay, we're going way past what they showed in here, so let's just get into the story real quick. There's your $2.99 pricing. So set in the Louisiana Bayou. Starts out, we've got a black man wandering through. This is Civil War, of course, at the 1865. So it's the end of the Civil War. Confederacy is losing. They've surrounded this black man wandering in the woods. It's actually kind of like an abandoned farm, and he suddenly takes off, running, and he's trying to get to this abandoned farmhouse because his buddies are actually hiding in there in an ambush. So they are able. He doesn't make it to there quite, so they tackle him down, and then they're going to plan on lynching him. But just as they got the noose around his neck, the Union soldiers that are hiding in the barn there come out shooting, and here we go. And it turns out to be, it's that special squadron of not squadron, but a squad of black soldiers on a special mission. Okay, so we get this gunplay. This is that pitched battle that you're talking about. The Union doesn't lose any soldiers. The Confederacy loses 4. Some people are wounded in here. They're able to then, Cornelius gets his uniform back and dresses up. So they are not going to chase the Confederacy down. They realize the Confederacy have the advantage because they know the woods better, even though that they are running scared. So they're going to regroup and come up with a new plan and basically make sure everybody's okay at this time. Meanwhile, in the Confederate camp, they've found a spot that's safe. They're going to patch up one of their guys with a heated knife. Now, I might mention at this point that I'm assuming that Ron Mars has a real love for Southern rock from the 70s because he names all these characters from the Confederacy after members of 3 rock bands: Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Allman Brothers, and Leonard Skinner. So I'm just assuming just picking those because he likes classic rock. I'm not going to say anything that he's being racist or anything because they're Confederate. Confederates. Musicians tend to be very colorblind. Music is a universal language, and you'll see interracial members playing together all the time. So, and they seem to appreciate each other's talents um, to the ends of the earth. Okay, to use a cliche there. So what we've got here is the Confederacy is now strategizing. What are we going to do? You know, we're on the run here. We're losing the war. We need something to do to turn the tide here, and we're also being pursued by this group of Union soldiers that seem pretty good. And they decide to contact the Swamp Witch. And this is the end of this chapter 1. So that was very brief, as you can tell. I was kind of surprised. Like, wow, it's over. And she says, well, we can always work something out, but what are you willing to give for it? So I'm assuming they're going to give up their souls or something like that, because they have nothing on them. That is established when the Union goes over to pick over the corpses to see if they've got any rations or anything on them, and they have nothing really. So this is where we're left, to be continued. And then we get the sample art here. Cornelius, Ezekiel, James, and Lewis, and they seem to be very happy and very proud to be Union soldiers, I might add. Apollodori, Thomas, and then we get right into the catalog section, putting the science in science fiction, available at all places where podcasts are listened to. Heavy Metal Presents. So I'm not sure what that is, but there you go. There's an ad for it. Tarna is back in the saddle again. Extra size 3D page. 30-page finale. I'm sorry. The Last Tarkarian. So there you go on that. Savage Circus. America's heartland has become the most dangerous jungle in the world. The animals are loose. The Savage Circus runs loose on a small town, America. Did you get your tickets to the show? So we got that going on. Then we have graphic audio stories, featuring stories from a number of different artists here. George Romero is the one that's standing out to me, as well as Ron Mars. Okay. Then the Modern Frankenstein. This is out now. They've had run a few issues. They're also talking about Amber Blake and Chasing the Dragon. I was actually reviewing Chasing the Dragon for the first 3 issues, and I liked the beginning, and then it just seemed like it really tailed off. Really unusual art in it, very striking, but I just kind of lost interest it seemed like the storyline took a turn to where it just became kind of silly. Sun Eater, written by Dylan Sprouse, and there's some, I don't know if you can see it, interior art there, and I guess a variant cover. They say this is on sale as well. I have never seen this book. Illustrated by Diego Yapur. Moon Lake, Dan Fogler's book, Midnight Munchies. It's also in stores now. I'm assuming this might be a trade paperback. And then we have Awaken All Your Senses. Looks like a collection of the different heavy metal books all put into one case, perhaps. So that's kind of a cool idea. Experiencing the fusion of stunningly epic art and the beautiful complex aroma and taste of the limited edition Heavy Metal Elements box set by Geek Grind Coffee Company. So you might want to go to their website to check exactly what you get on that. Fishkill. Dan Fogler again. It's a dark ride into an ex-soldier's turned cop's insanity. Okay. So that's a dark ride there. It looks almost futuristic. That's what I'm assuming here. And returning Heavy Metal 309 and 310. Also the adventures of Adrienne James and Darkwing. Or maybe that's the same. I don't know. I'm not sure how they put their publications out. Maiden by Bart Sears and Heavy Metal. Just an ad for them in general here. Maiden is the wrong demand, retribution. The defiled souls of the innocent scream for it, and the maiden rises in blood to answer the call. So there you go. And that's it. So I am going to give it a recommend. It is interesting enough. I thought it was well executed. It was short, and that's my only real complaint, because I do like Southern rock and music from the 70s as well. So we're good there. So this does honor Petty, Campbell, Betts, Rosington, Collins, and Allen. So there you go. No Van Sant, no Allman, but all those other guys were in those bands. So thanks for stopping by and listening to this review. As always, please like, please subscribe if you haven't. Please leave comments. I've got a ton of books this week to review. Bought way too many, so probably doubling up to get through it. And we'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. This is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.